y'all. Happy Turkey Day. I'm going to try to talk a little low because I think my neighbors are still asleep and my walls are very thin and my voice is deep and it carries. So I'm gonna try not to talk loud and I'm going to try to keep it brief because I know a lot of y'all got a lot of cooking to do, a lot of eating to do. Wait a minute, what am I talking about? My neighbors woke me up this morning fucking like crazy. Nah, I'm going to keep it regular volume. Carry on. A lot of time to be spent with family, but real quick, I just wanted to give you my personal recommendations of movies to watch, well, movie singular to watch on this Turkey Day, and that is Warrior, one of my personal favorite movies of all time, my favorite movie of the 2010s. I did a top 20 of the 2010s, and that made #1. Spoiler for my own damn video. So I'm going to be joined today by my boy Anthony A. Perez. This is part of our Tit for Tat series where we pick movies out for each other that we normally would not watch. So on his channel, I had to watch Strangers 2, so I'm going to leave the link in the description to Anthony A. Perez. Go check him out. He reviews movies like myself. And so yeah, I'm talking Strangers 2 on his channel, and on my channel today, we're going to be talking Warrior. So y'all, real quick story before I get into this movie. Turkey Day 9 years ago, around the time the movie dropped on DVD, I took it to my homeboy's house because this is one of those movies where I force on everybody, like, yo, you gotta watch Warrior, you gotta watch Warrior. And I feel this is a movie that doesn't get a lot of love. It's very underrated, and it's sad because this is such a great movie, and no matter how many times I watch it, it gets me in my feelings. I'm a sensitive dude, so I cry, and this movie makes me fucking cry. And it's tears of sadness, but then tears of joy too, and triumph. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those feel-good fucking movies that's in the spirit of Rocky. You know what I mean? And Rocky's my favorite franchise. But anyways, quick story. I went to my homeboy's house with the DVD, and I said, bro, we're watching Warrior. This is Turkey Day, right? And at the time, he was staying at his mom's because he was transitioning to moving into another apartment. So he was staying with his mom's temporarily. So we're over there. We're watching the movie. And I'm looking at him out the corner of my eye like, I know you're liking this, right? And he's like, okay, this movie's okay. So long story short, the movie ends. He loves it. But here's the thing. When I first came over there, I was already a little tipsy. All right, it was Turkey Day. I already ate. I had some liquor in me. By the time the movie was over with, I was pissed drunk. I don't get pissed drunk like that no more, y'all. This is when I was kind of stupid. So I got piss ass drunk. And he ended up putting on another movie because I said I can go for another one. Now, mind you, I drank about 4 of those little 99 coconuts drinks. And then I had some platinum vodka. And then he fucked around and gave me some Coronas. I was out. So by the time he started the second movie, I was on the floor, passed out in a drunken slumber. Slop coming out my mouth and everything. So, so I guess he exited the room and his mom saw me, right? My Duke saw me and she was like, like this man passed out drunk in my house, get him out of here. And he was like, Mom, he just had too much to drink. Just let him sober up and he'll listen here, boy, I don't run no hotel. And when I heard that, I jumped up, I sobered up real quick and I kind of staggered out the house like, hey man, I can make it home and I'll be all right. He's like, bro, you sure? I was like, yeah. You like the movie, right? You like the movie? Yeah. Warrior, shit, right on. I don't know why I thought about that story, but yeah, that's one of my experiences of watching Warrior, and that was on Turkey Day. So, yeah, okay, Warrior. Let's get into the movie. This is the story of 2 brothers, Brendan and Tommy, and they come from a very dysfunctional family. The father, Patty, is a drunk, played by Nick Nolte, in a great performance. He got nominated for an Oscar. I feel he should have won. Killed in that role. Nick Nolte was an abusive drunk who, is responsible for the family falling apart. The mom couldn't take the beatings anymore, so she took Tommy with her, and they moved away, and Brendan stayed with him. But the funny thing is, Patty, the father, was more closer to Tommy. Like, Tommy was like his blue chip athlete. He was going to make him a star. And Brendan was like the son that he kind of forgot about. So Brendan kind of stayed behind because he wanted to be close to his father. But still, his father kept doing the stupid shit that he was doing. So now fast forward years later, Tommy's in the Marines. He's in the Marines fighting in Afghanistan. And the mom passed away. And Brendan ended up getting married and having a family and fought in the UFC for a minute. But the UFC wasn't too kind to him. He had to end up leaving. So now he's a school teacher, struggling to pay the bills and keep the house up. So now he has to go back to fighting. And the roads end up coming to where these 2 brothers have to meet in a clash. And it's more than just a fight. It's just everything, everything that accumulated up to that, all the pain, the struggle, the hurt, the past demons, everything left in the cage. So when I saw the trailer for this, I was expecting a good MMA movie, because at the time I was really into the UFC. I was a big MMA fan, and I thought this was going to be a legit MMA movie, not the regular straight to DVD movies that you saw even to this day. So I said, okay, I went to the movies to see it, and I was not ready for what happened. Oh my God, no, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the type of movie that I was going to get myself into. This hit me so hard emotionally, and the fights were choreographed like just, this movie was perfection. You know what I'm saying? You can't ask for a better MMA movie. And yeah, some UFC purists would be like, oh, the fighting was kind of fake. No, this would never happen. It's a movie, okay? It's not going to be 100% legit, okay? The boxing in Rocky is so far-fetched and so over the top, but yet, who doesn't love Rocky, all right? If you don't like Rocky, then get the fuck away from me. So, where am I at? Damn, I ain't trying to go this long. It's funny how time flies when you're talking about something that you really like. So look here, before I get into the rest of this movie, I'm going to let Anthony Perez take the floor and give his 2 cents on what he thinks about Warrior. And listen, tread lightly. This is one of my favorite movies ever. Be careful what come out your mouth.
What's going on, Rashad and all his viewers? A big thanks, my friend, for having me in this video. I know we were supposed to do a video for Bamboozled by Spike Lee, and it just didn't work out. I couldn't find it on any streaming service. I couldn't even find it on any site to just rent. It was just a movie that seemed kind of impossible to find. I did find it for like 20 bucks on Amazon, the Criterion Collection version, so maybe I'll pick it up at some point and we can try to do that collab in the future. But yeah, so you ended up changing your mind and said, hey, let's do Warrior instead. This movie came out in 2011. It actually came out the same year that I graduated from high school, and was a movie that I remember seeing the trailer for a million times. The trailer for this movie played constantly when I went to go see movies, and I actually didn't see it in theaters, but I did end up seeing it at home one day, and man, I was so into this movie. Directed by Gavin O'Connor, who also did movies like Miracle, and the most recent movie that he did was movie like The Way Back with Ben Affleck, so he's obviously really into sports movies. And yeah, this movie does what I think some of the best sports movies do best, and that is tell a really compelling narrative that even if you're not a sports fan, or you're just not a fan of the sport that the film is about, by the time you get to that big showdown at the end, the big event of the movie, you are emotionally connected to what's happening and you are engaged. I think that the best sports movies do that, and it's clear that Gavin O'Connor is just really great at that kind of thing. So right out of the gate, I love the direction of this film. I like the way that this film is directed overall. The cinematography is great. The cinematographer, I believe, also did movies like The Gray with Liam Neeson, and yeah, I just thoroughly enjoy the way that this film looks, the way it's shot, the way it's just overall directed, and then you have a great cast in Tom Hardy, Nick Nolte, Joel Edgerton, and this was actually the first time I ever saw Tom Hardy in a movie, and since then I've gone on to, go ahead and catch up on the rest of his filmography. I haven't seen all of his movies, but I've seen a big chunk of them, and a big reason for that is this movie. This is an incredibly great movie as far as the performances go, and tells a very personal and real story about brothers. Beyond it being this movie about fighting, this movie that is great in these really cool, badass ways, and has a lot of, weight to the actual event that takes place at the very end of the film, it's a movie that has a lot of weight to the narrative. It's a film that is just incredibly well acted and believable, and it feels very tangible. It's a movie that makes you feel stuff while you're watching it, and though it's entertaining on top of that, and it's also just really well done, it's a movie that has something to say. It's a movie that by the end of it, you feel like you've been on a journey with these characters, and I just really thoroughly enjoy it. So I appreciate you having me revisit this older movie. I mean, it's not that old, but it is kind of crazy to think about the fact that this movie came out the year that I graduated, and I'm kind of close to being 10 years since my high school graduation, which just kind of blows my mind, honestly, really looking back. But yeah, I have a lot of fond memories of just seeing the trailer for this movie coming out a lot or near that time, and this is a movie that when I think about what I really enjoy about it, it's the performances, it's the characters, it's the emotion behind the story, and I think that this movie does an amazing job of really nailing all those things. And I gotta say, I think this is a movie that's kind of underrated. I think a lot of people who see it tend to enjoy it, and I'm sure plenty don't, but I think this is a movie that just doesn't get talked about enough, and not a lot of people know about, or at least not enough in my point of view. But yeah, I do thoroughly really enjoy this movie. I appreciate you having me into this video, man, and having me check out this movie again. It's been a long time, and I'm definitely looking forward to revisiting it again to do a full-blown review over on my channel. So I'll go ahead and hand it back to you, but a big thanks to you for having me in this video. Always a pleasure, man. I also really quick want to mention that I just really love Joel Edgerton as an actor, and he's gone on to be a really good director and writer and an actor, and I always had like this nostalgic connection to him being the very brief cameo or appearance of Uncle Owen in the Star Wars prequels. And since I have such a deep connection to those movies, it's always nice to see Joel Edgerton in anything, and I think that he's grown to be an incredible actor as time has gone on, and this movie is no exception. So yeah, I'm gonna go hand it back to you. Thank you so much again for having me in this video. I look forward to hearing what we're gonna do next on your channel, and if you guys are into these collabs that Rashad and I are doing, come on over to my channel where you can find a playlist where I have all the videos that Rashad and I have done together. I definitely recommend you guys go check that out because we've reviewed some fun movies over on my channel. But I look forward to what's next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
All right, my man, you know what? I never had a doubt in my mind, brother. There's nobody I know that watches this movie that does not like Warrior. How can you not? What's there not to like about this movie? Even Roger Ebert, who is the god of movie criticism, gave this movie praise. I think he gave it 3 out of 4 stars. You know what I'm saying? A movie that not a lot of people have seen, but I think once you watch it, I think you will fall in love with it. And if you have any kind of heart, the size of the Grinch, all right, you're gonna feel something. I watched this movie recently, and once again, the tears coming down my face. You know, and if I watch it again, the tears gonna come down my face. It was just so many layers to this movie, and the performances. Tom Hardy crushed it as Tommy. He was like a white version of Mike Tyson. This guy was just ferocious, and just you saw the wildness in his eyes every time. Even when he's not doing much, you know, you just see he's like an animal. Just waiting to fucking, like a rocket waiting to explode, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was vicious in this movie. And Joel Edgerton, on the other hand, is, you know, the mild-mannered school teacher. You know, he's the guy that looks like he can't fight, but he can actually fight. Which is realistic, because a lot of guys that know MMA, when you look at them, you'd be like, man, this dude can't do shit, but then he'll break your fucking arm, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so the UFC reject turned school teacher now has to fight to save his family and to save his house. It was just, you know, you rooted for him. And the thing about this movie that's special is that, you know, you don't want to see anybody lose. You're rooting for both of them. This is one of the rare times where you have a fight movie that has 2 protagonists that you want to see win. Because usually in these situations, you know, you have the protagonist, you have your Van Damme or your Stallone or your Schwarzenegger who has to go up against this fucking unstoppable force, and how are they going to stop this person? And, you know, you're intrigued and you want to watch to see how he's going to beat him, you know, beat the odds. And with this movie, it's not like that. When it came down to the final showdown between the brothers, honestly, I was rooting for Tommy. I don't know. Tommy was badass to me, man. I like Tommy. And from how he was killing everybody, how he was just killing everybody so easy. Like I said, he's like the white Mike Tyson. He was just going through everybody, whereas Brendan was struggling with everybody. Every fight, he was getting his ass handed to him, but he always found a way to win, especially when he fought the Kurt Angle character of Cobra. It's like, dude, this guy should have been taken out. So when the brothers clashed, I was kind of rooting for Tommy, but then because of what Brendan was fighting for, I said, damn, I don't want to see Brendan lose because I want to see him keep the house. And then Patty, the Nick Nolte character, the father's in the middle of all this, and his scenes broke my heart. It's no wonder that he was nominated for an Oscar for this movie, because he absolutely broke my heart in this film. And I think it's a reflection of his real life, because Nick Nolte had a problem with drinking. You know, I think everybody knows the story when they did 48 Hours, when they were trying to promote the film. He was supposed to go on Saturday Night Live and promote the movie with Eddie, but he showed up so drunk that they couldn't do it. Eddie had to carry the show by himself. So Nick Nolte had a lot of past demons with the alcohol, and I think that really spilled into his performance in this movie, because every scene he was in, you saw the pain in his eyes, you seen the regret in his eyes, and the fact that his kids now, who are grown, want nothing to do with them, and he's fighting to get their love back and to be in their lives again, and it's just an uphill battle with them. And spoilers here. So the scene that really got me was when Tommy, you know, the Tom Hardy character, where he turned on him like, dude, like I needed this guy years ago. Like, where the fuck were you? Where was his father figure when I needed you? Like, dude, I'm not fucking with you now. Get out my face. And he threw that cup of quarters at him. And just that look alone, that facial expression alone, that should have won the Oscar right there. Because that facial expression had everything. Walked away, defeated man, and then when you see him again, he had relapsed back into drinking again. Because he had sobered up for a while, so he went back to drinking again. And Tommy saw him, and he was like, wow, I pushed my father back into alcoholism. And without saying much, without saying a word, Tommy, you know, he took the bottle away from him. He sat him down, he hugged him, and they just had a moment. You know, he just held his father, and that was just, I'm about to choke up just thinking about it, man. And even the way the movie ended with the fight in the end, you know, Brendan had that moment with Tommy where he had to hold him and be there for him, even though Tommy hated him. But then they ended up embracing his brothers. God damn, this movie, I'm about to cry just talking about it, y'all. I love this movie. So anyways, y'all, this is my recommendation for Turkey Day. If you needed something good to watch, check out Warrior. So wrapping it up, I'm going to give this movie a solid A+. Easily. One of the best movies ever. Even if you're not really into fight movies, I think you will like this. This movie has a lot of heart, and it's not just a movie for guys either. I think women would look at this and feel something as well. Like a chick I talked to a few years ago, I showed her this movie, and she was crying like a baby herself. You know what I'm saying? So I think this movie has something for everybody. So anyways, y'all, enjoy y'all Turkey Day. Eat a lot, drink a lot, be merry. Don't drive home drunk like I did 9 years ago and almost killed myself. And don't go to your best friend's house and pass out drunk, and then the mom has to tell you to get out, okay? don't do what I did. So anyways, y'all, what are your thoughts of Warrior? Comment freely below. If you're liking to the content, hit that like and subscribe notification bell in the corner. This is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.